Now a little video here. Now we see this Ballock National Movement, BNM, Ballockistan, our land. Now this seems to be a protest from London. Military aggression in Zeri occupied Ballockistan by Pakistan. Brutal military aggression. And they seem to be protesting against Pakistan. Stop bombing the children of Ballockistan. Now basically, my first impressions of this is that this is just made up. As you see there, the 7 Kurd on the kid and that. I would say that Ballockistan is just something they've just made up, to again further confuse, divide and confuse, and so people basically don't know the difference between India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Ballockistan, reduce all these type of ideas into it, and then people get all confused about who's who, who's fighting who, who's our friends, our enemies, this type of thing. See? So it's introduced in order to confuse people. And of course, like if you've you heard the phrase, right? The enemy of, or the friend of my enemy is also my enemy, or the enemy of my friend is also my friend, something like that. So basically, if you're talking about this is Ballockistan, and the enemies were Pakistan, right? And Pakistan becomes the Muslim place. So they're trying to get sympathy for Ballockistan, right? Basically, I just think it's made up, like Ballocky. It sounds like bollocks, it sounds like a load of old bollocks. See? I think it's garbage. It's like the Chagos Islands one that they've done with something to do with Britain a few months ago or something. All of a sudden there was this place called the Chagos Islands, which Britain owned, and was supposed to give back the Chagos Islands or something at a cost of several £billion to the British taxpayer. I was thinking, it's rubbish, I've never heard of it. And this is the same thing, this is the extent it's gotten to, where if dumb people don't, they just create new countries and stuff like that, Ballock. Again, just to confuse, divide, cause chaos, and more confusion into the mix, and of course you end up with a load of Ballockis coming on and immigrating to Britain, where they can hold a protest. It's just crazy. So this has got to be just made up, with the curly hair, It's like a piss take, isn't it? So Ballockistan. All these things seem to be quite new. I wouldn't think there's basically much historical about it, as it says there, historical area, historical region. If you're seeing that, I'd say it's basically just being made up in the last couple of bloody years, Ballockistan, the Ballock people. I just think it's this, a load of nonsense. Like this garbage, Chagos. Look, it's the handing Mauritius £30 billion from British taxpayer money to take Chagos out. You could have just made it up. I would say they just made it up. Is it, like a money laundering operation, siphoning off bloody taxpayer money. It's just ridiculous, Chagos Islands, what's to stop them just making it up, The offshore, you've all heard of offshore bank accounts. So, what the hell's that got to do with anything, British Indian Ocean Territory established in 1965. I doubt it, I would say they just made it up. It's a scam, it's a scam. They're ripping off people left, right and centre, running the country into the ground, destroying it, taking everything they can get, crooks galore, like pigs at the trough. and just ripping the place off. Of course, you know, they basically hand into foreign bloody powers and etc. You know, and this just seems part of it. You know, Chagos Islands. I mean, it's crap. You know, so basically, again, India and the ruling people of Britain, you know, like the aristocratic network of Britain, have come up with another scam to basically rip off the taxpayers for several billion pounds. That's the way I would view it, like. You see how the description of the place. It's full of sevens all over, you know. Just garbage. Of course, I always like to see, I always use a war idea or a sort of, you know, like a profane idea to hide the truth, you know. That's you just made it up. And, you know, if you put in this, what does Chagos mean? You kind of get no information. Obviously, all places mean something, you know, they're named after something, right? Again, this would suggest this place is just new as, you know, they've only come up with in the last couple of years, I would say. Because who's going to dispute that, you know? Some Indian or something who lives over there, you know. You see all the stories about it's only been very recent. So again, you know, I'd say they just made it up, you know. It's a tax operation, you know, they're siphoning money operation. Chagos, you know. Just nonsense, nonsensical, you know. Now you can see this week, we used this anagram finder. Called the word finder, is it? Now if you can see these. Chagos, cash, cogs, chaos. Chaos in your cash is basically the biggest ideas with this Chagos bullshit. So again, you know, I'd say they pretty made it up. And obviously, the chaos. You know who that's referring to, basically. And archipelago, they call it. The chaos. The G, and then the arch. So now all this stuff's about it. Again, we're talking about 30 billion quid. It's quite a nice payday for these crooks, right? And this could just be obviously, you know, CGI or something, right? Don't even need to exist as a place, you know. It's a total rip-off, you know. Total rip-off.